Lib75 who cheers 1000 and says, "Hey Ward, you're doing great. Fantastic to hear, Lib. Glad you're doing well." And of course, thank you very much for the 1000-bit cheer. What's up, you Thermal? Wardycast PogChamp. Lizzie in the chat, doing great. J-Bell's in the chat as well, saying hello. What's up, Snowy Dark Ones as well? How are we all doing today, guys? Throw some love in the chat, please, for Lib and his 1000-bit cheer as we kick off into game number 1 of this best of 3 series between now our two players who are in very different positions in this group. Strange and a 1-0 match score, Hydra with an 0-1 match score, meaning that this result here could really start to kind of set the stage for what we're going to see in the rest of the games today. To the bottom right hand side from Root Gaming, we're going to be having our Blue Terran player. Blue Zerg player, sorry. It is going to be Hydra. He spawns to the bottom right hand side here on Frozen Temple. As we're going to have to the other left hand side our red Protoss player. It's going to be Strange, I believe from Cray Squad or something. I'm not sure who his team is. If anyone does know in the chat, I keep forgetting to check. If anyone does know in the chat, please do feel free to share with me. Ufilm has been a sub here for 28 minutes. Not quite 28 minutes. Ufilm's been a sub for like 20 minutes, I think. He's like the second or third longest sub I have, I think. I don't know. I could check. I actually haven't looked at my sub list for a long time. Again, guys, just because I haven't said it already today, don't forget that if you are enjoying the games, enjoying the cast, and enjoying the content we're putting out here, you can hit that follow button on the stream to see when we're live in the future. Currently going to be live every single day until a week on Saturday. That's going to be our first day off because that's going to be the day of Shatcraft Kings. So we're going to be live every single day until then. SGL today. Tomorrow we've got the Wardy Open qualifier. Sunday we've got Go for SC2/WCS qualifier. Monday also WCS qualifier potentially. Tuesday we're going to have Leifeng Cup, Wednesday Leifeng Cup as well as a WCS qualifier maybe, Latin American WCS qualifier, Thursday and Friday SGLs again, and then Saturday will be our first day off in quite some time on the stream. So busy days here on the stream, going to be live all of the time. Plenty of games coming up for you guys, so lots of action over the coming days, months, weeks, whatever. Do make sure you check out some of the games. Guys, let's talk about this because we do see Hydra has gone for a very early Rotoran. As we're going to be seeing the Rotoran just being added on here. And so very early pressure coming from Hydra, playing very aggressively here early on. Now, is Strange going to be able to hold this off? He has got an adept moving out on the map. He doesn't know what this is yet. I mean, if you check Strange's vision, well, maybe he does. I mean, he saw the gas in the pool mining, the gas mining. He hasn't seen the Rotoran though. His mothership caught out the front as though he expects something to be coming forwards. It's going to be intriguing. He's going to work his way against this Overlord. Shouldn't get the kill. It's going to just be out of range. Stalker should not take the bait and go chase that now. And you can see actually Strange is not taking the bait at all. He's got 2 pylons up. He's looking good. He's still trying to burst out Stalkers. I think he realizes pretty much what's going on here. Very early as we're going to be seeing the Lings, Roaches gathering together. First Ravager starts to morph in. That's all that's all that Hydra can afford right now. 1 Ravager. As we're going to be seeing Twilight Cancel does drop down, but now all of a sudden Strange sees this. Maybe he cancels that Twilight to get something else going for himself. Overcharge will pop straight away. He does have 2 overcharges available, so lots of damage going to be done. Sentry pops out in time as well to drop a Force Field. And that will buy just a little bit more time here. Warp Gate about to finish, so Gateway's going to be able to move into Warp Gates very soon. That means extra Warp Pins. That's going to help a lot. Obviously right now though, the Mothership Core is without energy to overcharge once again. As Strange continues to try and make this hold. We do see that pylon getting taken down there. The Sentry is not going to get a Force Field down before it falls though. As Hydra starts to break through the front. We're going to be seeing Lings going up. There's a ramp. They're going to surround a Stalker. A Sentry also under a lot of pressure as well. Also going to go down. As we're going to be seeing a Corrosive Bile coming down. He's going to unpower these gates on the low ground at least I think soon. I mean, it might just be Strange who tries to actually hold in his main base only. He actually runs his probes out on the map. That's a little bit of an interesting choice. He's building 2 more gateways. No Cybercore being rebuilt just yet, though. That's on pylons to the high ground as well. He's just trying to hold on his 1 base now, then. So he's going to just give up this natural expansion. But actually, Hydra just says, well, you know what? Let's go for this right now. Let's start fighting. As he comes up this round, he's going to break on through. The pylons have to be cancelled. This Mothership Core gets 1 more overcharge off. I just don't think it'll be enough, though. There's so many Roaches and Zerglings here. Hydra's attack has worked out very well for him, and Strange is going to have to type out GG. Hydra takes the 1-0 lead. Hydra is off to a great start. He's 1-0 up, spawning as the Blue Zerg player here on King Sejong Station, representing Root Gaming. And to the bottom right, our red Protoss. It is Strange. Again, what's up everyone? Who are you cheering on in this series? I know Hydra's probably a fair favourite in this. You know, he's a player who's very, he's very good, he's very popular as well. Strange, maybe a bit of an underdog. Well, you know, if you've got any Strange fans, it's actually interesting, because when I was cheering on, or when not cheering on, but when I was casting Strange in the WCS qualifiers the other day, there's actually quite a lot of people cheering Strange on, so pretty interesting that he had so many fans. Obviously, he won a lot of people over when he had his series against Pult in the WCS Spring Championship back in DreamHack Tours. Seeing a similar being added here. Just looking to be a much more standard opening right away from both players. Nothing crazy just yet, as we are going to be seeing. Hatch Gas coming down from Hydra. So Hatch Gas comes down from Hydra into the pool. Obviously we'll see if he wants to still add on like a faster Rotron and do something with that. Strange just taking a fairly normal expansion for himself right now though, so he's putting down his expansion in the natural. Do you see this probe? Just going to head across here just to try and figure out what's going on. Obviously, after the last game, he wants to try and keep on top of his scout, and he wants to make sure he always knows what Hydra is up to and get as much information as possible. You does see Hydra moving towards a third hatchery, and actually Hydra might just take a third hatch very early in this game to completely change things up from what he did in game 1. As we see, oh, probe going to get in there and block though. It's going to be a little bit annoying. We'll delay this hatch coming down for a little bit longer, just getting the probe moving once again there to keep on blocking. As we see the drone nibbling away and away and away. There we go, third hatch comes down. So third hatchery coming down here. Strange going to move up the ramp with the probe in towards the main base in a moment or two. So probe is going to be coming in, having a little bit of a look around. So the bottom right side, I mean, Strange not really doing anything just yet himself. Last game we saw him going for the Twilight, wanted to probably go Resonating Glaives on Frozen Temple. Not much of a surprise there. King Sage on another map where the Resonating Glaive openings are fairly popular. But it is a map as well where we can see that Stargate playstyle. So we are going to see this Stargate coming down here. And we have been seeing most commonly out of the Stargate openings the decision to go for the decision to go into Oracles. So we'll see if that's going to be something which sort of sticks around, whether that's going to be something he wants to go for. It could be Phoenix as well. Depends how he wants to play it. I mean, there's advantages and disadvantages to both Oracle and Phoenix play. I mean, Phoenix, for example, it takes a lot more of them to kind of get the same damage done, but there's a lot more, much better chance of Phoenix kind of surviving for longer. Oracles obviously have Revelation, which is a big plus. They can get damage done quick and easy. There's not as many of them. Phoenix, of course, though, do have the ability to turn around Mutalisks as well. So there's a lot of kind of positives and negatives here. It's just going to be the Oracle, though. I think for the most part, 2 Oracles has become the very standard way to open when you go into a Stargate-based opening as a Protoss against the Zerg. So not really much of a shock here. Overlord going to try and come in. Pneumatize Carapace has finished, so he comes in here. Will spot the Stargate. Hydra with plenty of warning about this incoming Oracle. Will not really be looking to take too much damage from it. Should be able to defend fairly easily. That's just going to be seeing that Oracle, just going to move up towards the upper left-hand side. Obviously, we'll look to try and get some initial damage done. Important thing here is not to take too much damage on the Oracle. If you can only lose the shields and then get out, it just gives you so much more freedom and maneuverability later on to keep on playing. So that's something we're going to be wanting to watch for here. Take as little damage as possible while still getting maybe a drone or 2 killed. It will be hard though with Spore Crawlers up. You see he comes in, he just deactivates, a little bit of damage taken, not too much. Now with the second Oracle, he can commit in towards those mineral lines a little bit more frequently and a little bit more easily as well, and get value out of it, because with the 2 Oracles, obviously you've got 2 to tank damage, but also they one-shot the workers, so you don't have to be in the mineral line for as long before you've already done a good little bit of damage. As we do see the Oracle taking a bit more hull damage here as the shields get popped once again. Just going to be seeing the 2 Oracles will join together. No damage done just yet. 1 Phoenix on the way out. This might just be to clean up Overlords on the map. He might... I would be surprised if he continues to build Phoenix. I think this is just 1 Phoenix investment just to clean up a few Overlords. We see the Adepts warping in. They're going to move across the map now themselves. Obviously, with these Adepts, they're... with these Adepts, they have been sort of... they're in a position where, as they move towards the upper left side, they don't have Resonating Glaives, but there's still a lot of them, and obviously the Oracle, the idea is the Oracles maybe get damage done early, so that the Adept follow-up does a little bit of damage when the Zerg isn't prepared. But in this situation, Hydra is more than prepared, and the Halingers are waiting there. Adepts would be silly to commit into that. Just going to be seeing another Forge on the way up from Strange. We're going to see the Twilight Council also being added on as well. As we're going to see the Adepts again just threatening to commit on in. They're not going to, though, as we see Hydra committing into the +1 melee upgrade. We might see that Snoot sort of style here in this ZvP where he plays sort of Ling, Ravager, Baneling a little bit later on as well. This is going to be seeing the Adepts just taking a little bit of damage from his Zergling, nothing too much though. And yeah, just going to collect together over on the third base. Rotron continues to come up here, so Rotron still on the way. Going to be finishing up in just a few moments. We'll see how many roaches he wants to make. He's actually got 600 gas in the bank, which is quite a bit, but still drawing in as well. And we're going to be seeing the 4th hatchery coming down, but actually, there's a macro hatch. Sorry, a 4th hatchery coming down over here as well. So he takes 2 expansions, not 2 expansions. He takes a 4th base, but he is going to be taking the macro hatch as well. So again, really suggestive of the fact that he is going to play Ling, Bane, Ravager, and there is that Baneling nest coming down. This playstyle is very hard to play against as the Protoss player. You know, it's something that's very difficult to deal with. It's one of those match compositions where you feel as though you're doing okay, and all of a sudden you miss one force field, and everything starts to fall apart. And it's just going to be seeing the 2 oracles just backing away a little bit. Revelation has come down on that natural. Just keep an eye on what's going on. It's interesting. Like the other day, I think it was Hearthstone against Bly or Guru or somebody. It was Hearthstone against a Zerg player, and I really thought Hearthstone had taken the fight, the engagement which he needed to be, to be looking good for himself. You know, he got good force fields, he traded quite well. The Banes had gone off on Stalkers, which were split up quite nicely, and yeah, out of nowhere, it was kind of crazy because suddenly Bly just had so much more, and he just kept on running in with more and more units, and it really is this sort of army that just you have to defend. So not defend, but you have to just engage so well against. It's hard to engage well against it because there's so many units coming your way. It can get a little bit panicky. It can become a little bit troublesome. Still 2 oracles alive though, and that's very important because the revelations they can bring into the game are going to be so good to keep track of the Zerg army and just to make sure he's not setting up any sort of flanks or anything that you're unaware of. So those oracles very important to keep alive here. So you actually see another set of Stalkers warping in. Obviously Blink has finished. He's got +1 as well. There's an aggressive attack out of Strange to try and make something happen in game 2. He drops a revelation onto the Banelings actually to just see where they are at all points in time. Again, I mean, any revelation is nice because it keeps track of the army. And you can see here Strange realizing, well, okay, there's no way I'm fighting against that. That's not going to work out for me. Goes into Robo Bay. I'd be interested to see whether he decides to go into Colossi or whether he goes into Disruptors here. I feel both have their advantages against this sort of composition. Both are good. I mean, you need some sort of splash damage against this because it is just so many units. It's sort of like Terran Bio. As a Protoss player, it gets to this point where you just need splash damage because there's so much of it. You can't just do it with sort of Stalkers, Adepts, and whatever else for forever. So Colossi have their... Colossi are pretty good against this. I feel Disruptors can be good too, but a little bit more hit and miss. Colossi consistent, but maybe not as powerful as Disruptors could be. So we'll see what he wants to go for. Nice wall off here to minimize the damage of this run by, although damage still being done. And that's one of the tough things about this composition as well right now from Hydra. The fact that there's always the possibility, it feels like, for this kind of run by to come in, and if Strange isn't ready for this run by, he can take so much damage from it. And here already, he's sort of prepared for it, but he still loses 18 workers. There's a lot of damage done by Hydra running into this natural expansion, as we're going to see those Lings continue to see what else they can get up to. We're going to see a couple more force fields on this ramp over here. A Corrosive Bile will pop one of those force fields. A little bit of a misplacement on the next one. Just going to be seeing the force fields coming down again. Needs to keep those force fields coming down. He wants to keep those Balins away. He wants to buy as much time as possible before he engages. The more units he can get out, the better this would generally be for himself. I was going to see Stalkers, Sentries, Adepts joining up together down just between his 3rd and natural. Actually gives up the 4th base location for now. This is interesting though, because now he's in a much more open space immediately. He does have this ramp here, I guess, which is what he seems to be trying to hold on against, but he misses the force fields now. Baner's going to get in, and oh my god, all of a sudden, everything is starting to die from Strange. Hydra looking very confident in the ZvP in comparison to the ZvT. Colossi on the way out, but they're just not going to get up here. They're not going to be allowed to finish, or maybe one finishes. Doesn't even matter. There's just too much loss from Strange. This composition from Hydra is just so hard to deal with, and we've seen so many Zerg players struggle